What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Mark Dark, and I'm back with another boxing video. And today I will be talking about your boy Deontay Wilder. And the question I have is, was your boy exposed or exploited in his last fight? Now, this is for my die-hard boxing fans. You guys let me know in the comment section what you think happened in his last fight. Was he exposed? What did you think happened? Explain to me how. Now, this is my take on it. Now, if you're a true boxing fan, if you know about the sport of boxing, what happened in the last fight probably didn't really surprise you. And when we talking about Deontay Wilder, you know, he was put in there with a guy that was very technical. And I'll explain this in my what to expect for the fight, the prediction. He's never been in a fight with a guy as technically sound as Luis Ortiz. So those things were going to happen. And if you're watching the fight, you see Luis Ortiz, he's doing things that is frustrating Deontay Wilder. Wilder can't really figure him out. That's because he has never been put in there with a guy with that type of skill. Now, when it comes down to Deontay Wilder, his huge advantages is not skill. His advantages is his size, his athleticism. You know, he does have his chin is, you know, it was tested, so he stood up. But it's really his size and his length. And he does have that right hand that's very dangerous. Both of his hands is very dangerous. So it's not like he's dependent on a very strong technical skill level to win him the fights. That's not what he's dependent on. And like I said, if you follow the sport, you can truly understand and easily understand that he lacks that. He lacks skill. But what he does have, he uses it and it works. Seeing that he's so taller than his opponents and bigger, he can use his athleticism and the skill that he does have to land that right hand, and it lands. So regardless of how technical sound you are, how long can you go without getting hit with that right hand? You know what I'm saying? Flush. It's going to land eventually. You know what I'm saying? It's going to land eventually. Now, Luis Ortiz, he has great technique. So, yeah, he was making it frustrating for Deontay Wilder in that fight, for real. He was making it very frustrating. Deontay Wilder had to figure him out. He couldn't. He didn't want to throw the punches a lot because he was getting countered. You know what I'm saying? He was getting countered. Like I said in my prediction that Luis Ortiz, he got quick hands. He can counter you. He can make it. I mean, the fight can be tough. But your boy Deontay Wilder just kept pushing through. And that's the whole thing with him. It's not, they tell you in boxing, you got two things that's going to win you the fight, skill and luck. You know what I'm saying? With Deontay Wilder, he does have a tad bit of skill. I don't want to say he was lucky, but I'm saying that the boy, his height and length is what giving him these advantages. His height and length, and that bomber, that right hand is very dangerous. That's giving him his advantages. He don't really have to depend on trying to be very technical, because in his head, he's like, man, all I got to do is land this right hand a couple times, and I'm going to drop him. I'm going to finish him. That's what Deontay Wilder's thinking. That's all he's thinking, I'm telling you. You can tell, because when he gets you hurt, he shoots straight in. He tries to finish you off. This is something you don't teach. If I'm teaching somebody how to fight, I'm not teaching them how to fight like Deontay Wilder at all. I can never teach them to be like that, to be all wild and, you know, all the stuff that he does. You don't teach those things. Those something that you don't teach. You teach them technical boxing. Now, I think Deontay Wilder learned a lot in his last fight. I think what he needs to start doing is, yes, he does use his jab, but what he needs to do is he needs to start going to the body a little bit more. He needs to break down his opponents up, down, or down, up. You know, pick your opponent off. Go to that body, because if he's going to fight Joshua, who's known to have bad stamina, the game plan for me will be that jab and we going to the body. That jab and we going to the body. In all honesty, it would be body work. We going to destroy his body, because if he already got stamina issues and we go to the body, that means we can get him out of there later on in the fight. Now, the whole thing with Anthony Joshua is he has another fighter with very good skills, and he's 6'6". he's just as big as Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder probably is an inch taller, but he's the same size pretty much, and he has those skills, but he lacks stamina. So now we're dealing with a fighter that has the skills to go in there and win the fight, but he doesn't have the stamina to win it. And we don't know if he has the chin, you know what I'm saying, to withstand that right hand. And that's for both fighters. We don't know if they can take each other's punch. I guess we don't have to wait and find out. But the whole thing with Deontay Wilder, in my opinion, is, yeah, he don't have the best skills in the book, but he has that athleticism, his height, his length, and that power. Those are the things that get him the victory, and he knows that. And he's going to use it to his best ability. And I don't blame him. I do not blame him at all. If that's what's working, then you use it. You don't teach that type of stuff, but in reality, that's his skill set. That's what he does, because those things gets him the victory. So it don't really matter if you don't want to call it skill or not. It's skill in his book. That little bit of skill is what helping him win these fights. But you guys let me know, what do you think was exposed in the last fight? I don't really see it as being exposed, because I just really felt that, you know what I'm saying, that was going to happen when he's put in there with a solid boxer. That's what's going to happen. If you a guy that's all wild and shit, and you get put in there with somebody that's very solid, technical, that can box, they're going to pick you off easily. It's not going to be no question about it. They're going to outbox you. You know, it's no question that he can be outboxed. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what Luis Ortiz was doing. It's just a simple fact that if you get caught with that right hand flush, it may be bad time. It may be bedtime for you, man. It's just that simple. It's bedtime. So I guess we're going to find out if he fights Anthony Joshua, what's going to happen. Anthony Joshua still has a fight at the end of the month, so we're going to see what he does. But I want them two to fight, and I'm going to pull for Deontay Wilder. I understand that Anthony Joshua has the better skill set, and he's more solid, but I'm pulling for Deontay Wilder. I don't care if he lacks those skills. I just feel like his determination and his heart and his will to win may be enough. But you guys let me know, man, what you think of your boy Deontay Wilder, and what do you think he needs to work on? Because for real, if he just work on some certain things, if he work on getting his body attack better, you know what I'm saying, being more patient, I think he'd be solid. He need to work on them things, especially for Anthony Joshua. Work on them body attacks. He can take that body out. Then the upstairs is going to open up, and he needs to be very patient and be more composed and defensively sound. But you guys let me know, my true boxing fans. Leave your comments below, and I will continue to bring you more boxing content in the future. But it's your boy More Dark. I'm out. Peace.
Yeah. Super Bowl goals. I'm at the crib of Puff. He got Kaepernick on the phone. He in a whole different mode. Angel Head 2 a.m. for being Hove, just to show him how I treat the city like my humble abode. Hey, tell me if TD Bank is a